The sky is falling. The silver rally is over. It's the end of the rally for silver. Are you hearing a few people say that? I say no. However, there is a warning, a big caution that we need to pay attention to. But also, my friends, basement dwellers, there's also big reasons why we can continue to be optimistic about silver as we head into the second half of the year. I think that we can be more optimistic than ever. But first, we'll talk about the big warning. But first, we'll have a little fun and check this out. I thought this was a great little graphic video that I want to share with you from Solve Netug. And take a look at this. I think this sums it up nicely. Hold on, I'll put it up full screen for you, my fellow silver fanatics. Got silver. Silver playing stuff. Okay, and what does he mean by that? What does he mean by that? What he means, silver got some years of catch up to do. Quite simply, what they're saying is that the silver price has not kept up with the gold price. A quick review, we're talking about the gold to silver ratio, the number of ounces of silver that it would take you to buy 1 ounce of gold. I remember like a year ago, we sat down here and talked about how crazy it was that it would take, 4 of these to buy 1 ounce of gold. That number got to almost 5 of these. There's 20 American Silver Eagles inside there. That would take, 80 to 100 ounces of silver to get 1 ounce of gold. Now it got to 100. It's now back to 90 to 1. That is still historically high. We're not going to do a deep dive into the gold to silver ratio, but it's not out of question that could go as low as 50, 60 ounces of silver historically. I think it gets mined out of the ground at 7 to 1, right? How can silver be mined at a 7 to 1 ratio, but the price be closer to 100 to 1 or 90 to 1 ratio? Does that make any sense? And a lot of that silver, half of it now that gets dug up out of the ground or more, gets consumed by, solar panels, electronics, all that crazy stuff. You know the whole story. Anyway, silver does have catching up to do, but what about this big warning, right? I mean, look, nothing goes straight up, including the price of silver. We have been on an epic run, but we do have a big caution area that we are approaching or could be approaching soon. Let's dig into that right now, but let's also talk about reasons why we can be so optimistic. Let's just go out here to one of our favorite charts. We got several favorite charts. I pre-prepared this with a, what do you call that? Turquoise colored line on the screen. Guys, that line is, hold on, let's get a different color so it shows up better. 35, hold on. Here we go. 35, as I have circled here, dollars per ounce. This is a 1-year chart, as you can see, of silver. It looks like silver's up 25% over the course of the year. But that $35 level, as we have talked about ad nauseum, is so critical because we had tried several times, and I think even once prior to this, to break through it. This breakout that we had just a little while ago was the third attempt. Okay, that would have been a triple top. This was a double top. That would have been a triple top, which is extremely statistically rare. However, let's take some of that off the screen here. What we need to be very concerned about right now is, again, this $35 level, because if we break down here below it, that will not be a good thing for the price of silver. We are still rather, in a healthy spot above it, $36.25. But how crazy the silver market can move. The good news is, if we do indeed go down here, I don't even want to talk about $30 silver, but if we do, right, then the fourth time that we break through will be, it's almost statistically impossible based upon decades and millennium of chart analysis that we would go back below $35 again. So that's what we're up against right now in the silver market. Now, the other thing we need to remember, let's be optimistic, guys. Let's look at a couple other charts that give us big reason for optimism. This is a long-term chart of the silver price. And remember, right, 1980, $50, 2011, $50. That is called a cup. Do you see how it looks like a cup? And this is the handle. And right now we're right here at $36 per ounce. If we break above that $50 level, they're saying this is one of the longest, most beautiful cup and handle patterns in the history of the universe. On top of that, the longer period of time, and we're talking about what, 45 years that this has been building. That's one of the longest, most pure, most beautiful cup and handles that we've ever seen. The longer the period of time that it develops over, the more reliable it is and the more powerful the breakout. So that's what gets us to $60 silver by April 1st of 2026, as I have stated as my prediction several times. And we're going to have a big party down here, an April Fool's Day party. But let's now go to the next chart that gets even more interesting. This is from Tavi Costa, a 257,000 followers. Wow, everybody knows Tavi. Super smart guy down in Brazil. But take a look at this. This is interesting because this looks at the silver price on a quarterly basis. See where it says quarterly? And we are almost at the end of the quarter. Okay, so on a quarterly basis, the cup and handle is formed at this $37 range. As I'm circling, hold on here, make sure we're still alive. Yep, as I'm circling over here on the right there, $37. So these are the end of the quarter. So would it be March, June, September, and December? That's where we landed. So this cup and handle goes from $37 to $37 if we are able to close out the quarter. And we have 11 days above that $37 on a quarterly basis. The cup and handle would have broken out. And we've seen unbelievable evidence that silver can break out. Because remember something very critical. When you look at silver priced in Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, it is at all-time highs. That's the exact same thing that we sat down here, basement dwellers, and talked about like a year and a half, 2 years ago, was happening in the gold market. We said, look, gold's at all-time highs in all these foreign currencies. The U.S. dollar will be next. I believe that's the same thing. Do you believe that that'll be the same thing that happens for silver? I am a silver believer. I love silver. You know that, okay? Speaking of which, we're very lucky to have First Mint sponsoring our gold and silver content here in the basement. First Mint is a mint in Las Vegas, Nevada. They are owned by First Majestic Silver, Keith Neumeyer's Juggernaut Silver Mining Company. So with First Mint, it's a very unique proposition. They actually dig up the silver from their mines in Mexico, ship it directly to Las Vegas, where it's made in the USA, made into world-class silver bullion products, and then it goes straight to you. Did you notice we missed something during that process? If you don't like the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, if you don't like the COMEX, some people claim they've manipulated the price of silver over the years. When you buy silver from First Mint, it is free. It never gets touched. It goes from the mine to the mint to you. They've got a great selection. They're all unique products. This one here, I've been showing this. I need to switch this out, but this is the Dragon round. These are all unique to First Mint. Absolutely beautiful products. They also have a buffalo round with an awesome American Indian image on the back. And then there's a few other products as well, including bars, 5-ounce bars, kilo bars. Check them out. Firstmint.com. Hold on here. Let's see. Who doesn't like to look at that quarterly cup and handle? But what we want to go to is First Mint's website, firstmint.com. They have a discount code for basement dwellers. VIPRB, okay? VIPRB, VIP Ron's Basement. There's the buffalo round, and there's the year of the snake. That's the one. I think I said dragon. I apologize. These are unique to First Mint. And there's the year of the dragon. Hold on. I was right. There's the snake. There's their buffalo round. There's their bars, okay? 5-ounce, 10-ounce, and 1 kilo bars. Check them out. Thank you, First Mint, for sponsoring the basement. Thank you to Keith Neumeyer for everything he does in the precious metal sector. Where was I? Oh, one more chart. One more reason to be excited about silver. And this one Let's look at that one more time. Guys, if we close above $37 in 11 days, we will have broken out of the cup and handle on the quarterly silver chart, but that's not what we're here to look at right now. Nope. We are going to look at this one, and I want to give proper credit. This is from Silver Stocks Great. Oh boy. Okay. Sorry, guys. I had the microphone muted. So we're going to go back and thank you, Susie. Susie, upstairs, Susie, saved the day yet again. Wait a minute. Basement dwellers? Huh? Are you saying it's kind of nice when you don't hear me for a few seconds? I apologize for the technical difficulties. We're going to go back to this chart, which shows in no uncertain terms over the last year, we've had several periods, right, where the silver price has done very well during these 11-week spurts. We're about halfway through. See the rocket, right? See where it goes? $46. He says, follow the green line. That would get us into breakout territory on the silver chart on a quarterly basis, a breakout of the cup and handle pattern. Why can I not? Hold on here. There we go. Okay. And that again was from Silver Stocks Great. So lots going on. Now I'm going to preach. Let's talk some more about what we have to look forward to. Excuse me. The microphone is on. And guys, think about this. The stock market, wrong screen. Yes, think about this. Welcome to live streaming. You never know what's going to happen. The stock market is at all-time highs. Bitcoin is at all-time highs, essentially. Gold is at all-time highs. Silver will be next, okay? Silver would have to be close to $150 per ounce right now just to match its all-time high that it had in 1980 when you adjust the 1980 high for inflation. And that's using the official government numbers. Who knows? The real number's probably closer to like $200 or $250, okay? Right now, we've got a massive short position in the silver market. They're saying that this Friday, now we'll see what happens this week, right? Because they're smashing the silver price down, mini smash, right? But nonetheless, we are still, last week we were at the second highest short position ever in the silver market. Short positions get fixed one of two ways, right? Either they smash the price down so they can cover their shorts, or there could be a silver squeeze. How do you like those apples? Silver squeeze, right? It could get super exciting in that regard. Next, we're going to talk about let's just talk about now. The silver price is like a beach ball underwater because of manipulation. We're going to talk about two ways that you can see the manipulation. But first, I do want to say thank you to First Mining Gold for sponsoring the gold and silver content here in the basement. They are a Canadian gold development stage company. They have two huge projects, millions of ounces of gold in the ground. It's been defined, drilled, all that great stuff. They have the Du Parquet project in Quebec and the Spring Pole project in Ontario. Both of those projects are massive. The Spring Pole project is working its way through the permitting process. And guess what? They've got another project, a third project, the Cameron project, also in Canada, that's about 1 million ounces of gold in the ground as well. I love these development stage gold and silver companies because it's like you're buying the metal, but it's in the ground, right? Probably the safest vault that you could ever ask for. And the value proposition is really incredible. So thank you, First Mining Gold, for sponsoring the gold and silver content. It's a stock that I've owned for years and years. You know, I'm not a financial advisor, whether we're talking about physical silver, gold, or silver mining stocks. Always talk to a financial advisor, but I do want to disclose to you that I do own First Mining Gold. And like I said, I've done that for years. Now, how is silver manipulated? Two ways, okay? Part of it happens in the middle of the night. We had that happen a couple of weeks ago. There will be massive dumps of silver when the volume in the markets is very, very low, right? When people are sleeping, when you're sleepy sleep, when you're all cuddled up, right, in your bed with your silver hat on, sleeping. The other way they're doing it is by spoofing. This has been proven. That's by putting fake orders, either fake buy orders or fake sell orders. When they want to make the price go down, what they do is put a bunch of fake sell orders out into the market. That scares people who really want to sell into selling sooner because they think, oh my gosh, look at all these people who are showing up to sell. It wouldn't be unlike this. Very easy way to understand it. If you own a home and you decide you want to move and you put your house on the market, okay, and you're the only house in the neighborhood on the market. So you're thinking, hey, I'm in pretty good shape, right? Trying to sell my house. And then suddenly some guy wants to push down the price of your house, the value of your house, right? Like they would want to do with silver. So in the middle of the night, he goes around and puts out a bunch of fake for sale signs on other houses in your neighborhood. And then your spouse calls you and says, oh my gosh, everybody's selling, everybody's selling. You would be more inclined to take a lower price for your house. That's exactly what spoofing is. I hope that made sense, right? It's manipulation. It's been proven wrong. There's been people that have gone to jail over it. And that's why silver is like a beach ball held underwater. The other interesting thing going on right now in the silver market, guys, is there is a huge disconnect between retail investment, in particular in the West, and industrial purchasing. Retail investment is basically, let's say, weak, not potent, not very strong. Okay. I know, not us, right? We know what's going on, but industrial purchasing of silver is still extremely strong. They're stockpiling silver right now. Now, there's a big reason why we want to pay attention to this, because guys, think about this. When retail, it's like the silver lining. When retail investment does come back to even just average levels, okay, that will create an even bigger, it'll be a bigger impact than anything right now in the market. When people wake up, when your neighbors wake up, right? I told you the story. I have a neighborhood swimming pool. If I'm at the neighborhood swimming pool and somebody wants to talk to me, which does occasionally happen, but I don't feel like talking to them, all I got to do is start talking about silver or gold, and they swim away. Okay. When those people are all swimming up saying, hey, Ron, tell us more about silver and gold, right? That's when we know that the true retail investor is back in the game. And that day will come. It's kind of sort of started to happen. You know, a lot of my neighbors who know that I'm into gold and silver, that I've talked to over the years, now they all seem to be getting more and more interested. We'll see if that trend continues. The other thing, the big sleeper, right? In this one I think is a big reason why we can be optimistic again about silver into the future, is jewelry. I, in my gut, know that silver jewelry is growing, and the statistics show that. Also, I have a feeling that over the next 5 years, like for a while it was platinum, like this ring that is a symbol of my love for upstairs Susie, my wife, right, is platinum. Back 20 years ago, platinum was the big thing for jewelry. Then gold, right? Gold's always been, but gold is so expensive. Demand and silver, the latest data we saw, I didn't realize this, but silver jewelry, even right now, accounts for like 20-25% of all the silver that's mined every year. If that continues upward and silver jewelry continues to gain favor, that could be that with the retail investors, guys, that's all we need, right? Because we know, right, the inventories of silver have been depleted because of the deficits that we've had over the last years. Let's talk about the Costco gold. Right? Big article. And what does it mean when CNBC? Why is it a big deal when CNBC talks about gold and they talk about the Costco gold situation? And here we go. Okay. From CNBC. Yeah. See right there. All right. Gold is near an all-time high. Here's how much a Costco bar, right? Remember the Costco dads? Those are the people at the pool, right? That I was just talking about. How much a Costco bar bought a year ago is worth today. This is interesting. I'm going to read this to you, like 4 paragraphs. Costco's gold bars are worth a lot more than they were a year ago, and demand is soaring. The bars have been a steady draw since Costco began selling them in 2023, and a sharp rise in spot gold prices seems to have boosted their appeal. In May, the retailer tightened purchase restrictions. I think limiting it to 2 at a time, limiting members to 1 transaction capped at a maximum of 2 bars per day. I was right after all. As of Tuesday morning, gold traded around $3,390 per ounce, near a recent record high and roughly 45% higher than it was at this time last year. Historically, investors tend to flock to gold during periods of geopolitical instability, inflation, and concern over the strength of the U.S. dollar. Here's how much more a 1 ounce bar purchased at Costco in June of last year would be worth today, based on the listed purchase price and Tuesday's opening spot price. Purchase price in June of last year, $2,400. Spot price today, $3,390. Unrealized gain, almost $1,000. Percentage increase, 40%. Wow. So that tells us a couple things. That shows us in no uncertain terms, had you just gone to Costco a year ago, like I was telling you guys, I did all kinds of Costco videos, you could have made $1,000 on each ounce of gold. Honestly, I didn't do it myself, so don't beat yourself up too bad. But the other big key takeaway here is this is on CNBC. This is mainstream media. You know, when they're not talking about whatever BS they talk about, what Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve is doing, now they're talking about gold. I believe we're in for a very good run in the gold price and the silver price, undoubtedly. So many factors are at play. Silver, I believe, even looks brighter and shinier right now. But guys, gold is high. And if gold can go, people are talking about $4,000 gold. Big banks, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs are saying $4,000 gold. If that goes up, silver will follow. And if that gold to silver ratio comes back to a reasonable level, the silver price could be off to the moon. And you already know all the other factors that are making silver so appealing. I want to say thank you also to channel sponsor Ledger and MoonPay for making these live stream possible. Ledger is the cryptocurrency hardware wallet security leader, and MoonPay is the fintech leader in the crypto world. Both great companies. Big honor to have them as sponsors. Big honor to have you here with me in the basement, guys. Be well. Take care of yourself. Don't forget, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you soon. Thank you.